What is going on, Eagles Nation? Welcome to today's episode of the Weekly Chirp. Stephen Hellmann here alongside Tom Aresco. And happy Tuesday to you. And yeah, just waiting for that draft. Like a month away now?
Yep.
About a month away. So, we're getting there in Philadelphia, of course. So, if you are in Philly, it's going to be on the Parkway. Going to be, kind of a first event of its time, really. And like that size of an atmosphere.
It's
so
the biggest draft experience ever.
Yeah, and a lot of fans are lining up to go for it, and I mean, of course they are, because it's Philadelphia. But so I think that's a great first city for them to do this. But anyway, to the Eagles, not too much going on right now, just speculation, mock drafts. Everyone's doing them. You're doing them all the time. But we have an interesting thing came out today with Wentz. He was given a list of 8 receivers that he would like to that the Eagles would like him to familiarize himself with, and I guess kind of pick which ones he likes. So what do you make of that? And do we know these receivers now?
Well, there's a couple names. A couple names got released.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So he's worked out with a couple guys already. So I mean, that's the rumor. And you remember when Howie Roseman, it makes you think back when Howie Roseman said that Carson Wentz will be involved in the talent on offense, and I think a lot of people freaked out and overreacted to that, like social media does. But really, I mean, that's kind of what every team does. They let their quarterback go, and they don't let him, but they want
they want his opinion.
Of course, any QB is going to go work out with some receivers that especially a young quarterback looking for that extra work. He's going to go work out with draft prospects because they're always working from. The minute they end football to the draft, they got to be working out, staying in football mode and training for 40s and stuff like that. So they're looking to catch the ball a lot. And Wentz got some extra work with a couple receivers, and that was probably at the discretion of the Eagles. They here's the guys we like. Here's the guys pick a couple guys that you're close with, or guys like Cooper Kupp and Chad Hansen who've actually noted that they wanted to meet and work out with Wentz before they even worked out together. The AO1 movement is a big thing right now with him. And so there's going to be a lot of prospects. I'm sure it's John Ross, Mike Williams, and Corey Davis are obviously in play, because of the first round pick. But then it's guys like this guy Shelton something. I'm not even gonna try to think of the last name. I forget it. But he goes to West Virginia. He was one of the names dropped. Cooper Kupp, obviously. Chad Hansen was the other guy. But yeah, he worked out with Cooper Kupp already. So I mean, look, the bottom line is they have their couple outside receivers, but if they can get a guy to potentially replace Torrey Smith, or a slot guy that could replace Jordan Matthews or make Jordan Matthews potentially movable, or just kind of you could lose Matthews and it's okay, who cares? We got this guy. There's a reason to groom into that slot receiver. So I think that they're looking at both sides of it. If they can't get that outside guy in the first round, they're going to go later and get a slot guy. So obviously they have a plan in this draft, and I think that it's a good one. They're looking to build around Carson Wentz, regardless of how much people want a cornerback. And look, I'm not saying they're going to rule cornerback out or ignore it, but as much as people, are thinking about all these cornerbacks and these defensive ends, I just don't see it. I see the Eagles going after getting things built around Wentz, and I think they're going to get really good skill position players. I really do. And does that mean they won't go corner in the first round, the second round? No, but I just see them leaning toward favoring offensive players still. Even though they got those guys like Alshon and Torrey Smith, I still think they're going to look for receivers. I think they're going to look for running back. I think they're going to have their eyes open for all those things, and even offensive line maybe.
Yeah, no, I mean you need to get guys around Wentz. You gave up a lot to get him. Not even that much really in the grand scheme of things when you think about it. But you went out and got the quarterback. Now it's time to build around him. That's what you had to do.
Yeah.
And you saw what he could do with these bums last year. So if you can get him some playmakers, it'll be interesting to see what he can do.
Got him a couple already, but it doesn't end there.
No. And you need a running back. I don't care what anyone says. You need a running back.
Just first 2 rounds, because you need the guy to start day one and be an every down back for you. Not so much every down because of the veterans such as Darren Sproles, such as a guy like Wendell Smallwood, who you got in your system, and he'll get a couple reps here and there. But you need a rookie running back that's supposed to be your guy going forward. So it's got to be you have to prioritize it and get one of these guys that you could see starting, every play in the NFL. And it's not an easy task, but they just need to go get that guy. So that's 100% true. And then they're going to need a receiver because there's a lot of uncertainty amongst the top three. Now, I'm under the impression that they'll do whatever it takes to keep one of those guys, and that's Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to let him go anywhere because he's your superstar ticket. He's like your big play, big time guy going age 27, and they got him for a low risk deal. So, I mean, if he doesn't live up to that, then sure. But I think if everything goes according to plan, he's going to be here for a while. Now, Torrey Smith, Jordan Matthews, Nelson Aguilar, and Dorial Green-Beckham are your other 4 receivers. So it's safe to say that receiver's not out of play at any of the picks that you have, period. You have to get, because you're obviously going to expend a lot of cap on Alshon Jeffrey, so you're not going to be able to pay a lot of guys, and you want production. You want young talent in room. So going out, getting Wentz a couple receivers, in free agency, and then going into the draft and planning on getting him maybe 1 or 2. I just think they're going to go with get football guys to build up around Wentz and get things going,
I personally just see Jordan Matthews being gone next year because if you look at it this way, like Torrey Smith's contract's so favorable that you would probably have to pay Jordan Matthews more than you have to pay Torrey Smith. So, and I would rather have Torrey Smith, so why wouldn't you just keep Torrey Smith and just move on from Matthews?
I think
unless you can get him on a nice deal, but
I think that's
if they draft a receiver like Cooper Kupp or whatever, like
anyone.
You don't really
honestly, anyone could get Jordan Matthews out, and if Corey Davis or Mike Williams falls and they're the best player on the board, or even John Ross in the first round, and the Eagles say, look, this is our guy, we want him, and they take him, I think they might look to move Jordan Matthews then for a 3rd rounder or something like that, 3rd or 4th rounder. On draft day, and the team might just be like, we'll just take him because he's probably better than anyone you'll get in the 4th round this year or something like that. At receiver, he's a proven guy, so he's not great, but he's caught a bunch of balls in the NFL, and he's caught touchdowns and a lot of yards. I mean, he's on the list of like the most top certain. It's crazy. It's his first. He's had solid stats, and he missed a couple games last year. He might have gone over 1,000 yards. A lot of injuries hit, but I mean that's on him, no excuses. But that's part of the game, and but if he could stay healthy for a solid team that can run something that favors him or get a little more out of him, he could be a solid 1,000-yard receiver, just low key, reliable guy. I could see a team like maybe Cincinnati or someone like that who's just missing a threat. And I know Cincinnati's in position to get Corey Davis too, and putting him with AJ Green is crazy, but. A team, maybe Arizona, they like to use a lot of receivers, and they lost Floyd. They could really use someone like Jordan Matthews. Not really use, but I just, that's kind of what I see. So.
No, I agree, but
maybe New England, they just feel like, hey, we'll
take
get
another guy. I mean, whatever. They're just loading up.
Because
their windows.
But kind of
could be closing, but who knows?
A little speculation. That's probably not the case. Jordan Matthews may as well just play his last year out here. But with these receivers, you still have to draft guys because DGB and Aguilar they're no sure shot.
You can't count on those guys.
Exactly. So you can see a complete overhaul of this core in the next 2 years, and we could be getting another big time guy in the draft this year, or we could be getting a guy later and see where he fits. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it, guys. So we'll wrap it up, and we'll see you guys for Bird Buzz later in the week. So make sure you get your questions ready, and that's all we got for you. So we'll see you around.